So the prosecution's first witness in the Derek Chauvin trial for the murder of George Floyd was the 911 dispatcher, Jena Scurry. And what she just told the jury is that she knew something wasn't right. Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, another quick update regarding the Derek Chauvin murder trial of George Floyd. The first prosecution witness just finished testifying, so I want to do a quick recap. Her name is Jena Scurry, and she is a 911 dispatcher for the Minneapolis Police Department. She's a civilian, not a police officer, and she dispatched the police officers to the scene to respond to the call for somebody passing a counterfeit $20 bill. And then she had the benefit of watching surveillance camera that actually showed the scene. And she testified. I thought it was a curious choice at first to put a 911 dispatcher on as the first witness in a murder trial. Let me say, first of all, your order of call, meaning the order in which you call the prosecution's witnesses, that's an art, not a science. I've seen all sorts of orders of call. And what I would typically do in my murder trials is I would either put on a family member of the victim, of the decedent, to try to bring to the jury's attention the horror of the loss suffered by the victim's family, or I might put the first police officer responding to the scene of a murder. Of course, in a case where the police were the ones who killed the victim, it's a whole different calculus. But as I watched Jena Scurry testify, I realized why they put her on. She was watching the scene, courtesy of a surveillance camera, and she said something wasn't right. She said she saw the police officers putting pressure on, using restraint on this person that we now know as George Floyd. And she said at one point, I actually thought the video froze because they were on this man for so long. And she said her gut said something's wrong. Something is wrong about what I am seeing. And she actually placed a call to the sergeant of those police officers to report what she was seeing. Something wasn't right. She didn't come right out and say excessive force, but that's what she was communicating. And it seems to be that, that's what she was seeing. That was her impression. So she called their sergeant, and she actually said, as a result of calling their sergeant, I felt a little bit like a snitch. So she knew she was reporting those officers for doing wrong based on what she was seeing. We'll talk more about the implications of somebody inside the police department, one, calling the sergeant to report it, and then two, saying she felt like a snitch for doing it. We'll talk more about that in the future, but I want to continue to try to post these real-time recaps of what we're seeing in the Derek Chauvin case for the murder of George Floyd. We'll talk again soon, folks.